Nigeria is a very beautiful country, and of course, whatever happens in this nation is just a move to make it better. The protest is getting tougher. Some persons may not be feeling the heat, but then those of us who move from one place to the other, assessing what's going on, know how it's actually going. Good morning. Welcome to another beautiful day. It is Tuesday, the 6th day of August 2024. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and this is what the papers are saying this morning. And of course, Lovett is here. She's been outnumbered today, and Michael is right here. You can see the smile on their faces because they didn't have to struggle too much to get to the office today. Good morning, Lovett.
Good morning, Taransin. How are you doing?
Yes,
today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to have you on Outnumbered today, even though you've been not outnumbered.
When you talk about not struggling to be to the office, there's few vehicular movements still in the city of Abuja because of the fuel.
Yeah, the queue is increasing by the day.
Too much.
All right, what do we have from the papers this morning? The Vanguard newspaper is where I'm starting from. And it says federal government warns Nigerians on UK travel as Starmer vows swift sanctions against rioters. Details read on page 8. Igbo must go. That's the kicker. Southeast Senate caucus waits in. Details read on page 11. Protest is the kicker right here, still on page 8. It says hosting foreign flags in Nigeria. Treasonable. This is coming from the president himself, Tinubu, hoisting foreign flags in Nigeria. Treasonable. And that takes me to the big story for today. The big story says the Kaduna Zaria boy, over 700 billion naira lost in 5 days. Asbon and Katsima is the one saying that, and details read on page 5. A lot of riders to this story. Kasima Abson counts losses as protests become violent in Kaduna. Zaria continues in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Jos, Benin, and the rest of them. The second rider says rescue Nigerians now. Protesters with Russian flags beg Putin in Zamfara state. Rescue Nigeria now. I don't know what that means. No wonder the president said it's not a good one. How would you be crying to the Russian president? His name is even being mentioned, Putin, to rescue Nigerians. How is that going to be done? All right, that's coming from Zamfara state. Then this writer says Russia not party to flags flown during protests. Embassy is denying that. Then Tinubu security chiefs meet. Police arrest 31 for disturbing producing Russian flags in Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, others. I take that again. Please arrest 31, for distributing, producing Russian flags in Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, and others. Then the flag was used in Zamfara state. Can you see that? It was produced in Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, all right, and other states. But then it was significantly used in Zamfara state. Well, I think that communicates so much. All right, because of time, I won't be able to take the rest again. So just pick a copy of the Vanguard newspaper and go through it for any of the stories that interest you. Let's move to the next story, Michael.
Yeah, we have the Punchy paper.
Punch, make it punchy, bro.
Over to the Punch today, above the header. On page 19, why fuel importers will frustrate Dangote, coming from former President Obasanjo. Fuel queues to clear as loading resumes at depots. Fuel queue to clear as loading resumes at depot. Details on page 20. Blackout as national grid collapses again. That is not a good news to hear, because when there's no light, of course, there will be a collapse of the nation. We need light for everything we do now. Details on page 20. Away from that, Kyari's fate divides House of Rep. Details read page 20. Away from that, the big story, the kicker is hunger protest. Military talk stuff as pro-Russia rallies spread. Details on page 2. We have two riders to the story. Defense headquarters hunt protest sponsors. Governors summon emergency security meetings. Russia disowns protesters. Police arrest over 30. More northern states declare curfew. That is just to curb what is happening over there in the northern states. It is not It is not good at all. It's not good at all because for Russian flags to be making around in northern states, is it that the Russian president told protesters to start using their flags? That is treasonable. And it's
The embassy have disconnected themselves
we're
from
not-
that.
Yeah, they deny that. They
no,
don't
we
know
don't.
about it. They
They
don't
know
know anything
about
about it.
I think that's a good one because
a good one because,
it's somehow
Yeah, it is.
it's really somehow, you know, for you to be flying or hoisting
Another country's flag.
another country's
That's right.
flag in Nigeria.
And away from that, I move to the story that has the kicker. Nigeria, Indonesia, Australia, one citizen about travel to UK. Details on page 27. The last story I will take on the Punch newspaper today is still federal government asks workers to register for 40,000 naira rise. That is an interesting story. Details on page 27. And then protest rocks Nigeria, Bangladesh, and United Kingdom. That's the last story I'll take on the Punch. They do where to pick a copy and enjoy. Over to you.
Okay, what
Love
I
it.
have here is Daily Trust and says Tinubu order crackdown on protesters waving Russian flags. The second one said data depletion, NNCC order to make tariff transparent. Defense chief warns we have no hand in Nigeria protests, Russia. Police arrest producer of Nigerian flag in Kano, Nasarawa. And we have another one here that said protest, police quiz, Trust TV producer. That's what I have here in Daily Trust.
Thank you. I don't know. TVC. Okay. Is it? Did you say Arise or TVC?
It's on TVC.
Okay, TVC. You know, the journalists have been, in fact, the receiving end.
Yeah.
I remember what happened when the protesters were moving from the Moshood Abiola Stadium to the Eagle Square. The
Okay.
tear gas, in fact, the reporter was literally shouting that they are the target because the tear gas was
directed at
targeting them and because they were covering it. Probably the security people wanted to hide what they were doing. I don't know. But then for you to be targeting the
press.
media, the press, when you see them putting on jackets with the right of press, it's not so good. All right, thank you very much, Lovett, for those headlines. Let's quickly get to the Nigerian Tribune. And I'm beginning from the big story, which says a military warns of treason as protesters fly Russian flags in Kaduna, Kano, others. Then this one says Ladoja receives a beaded crown next week after a council meeting. Details read on page 14 of the Nigerian Tribune. Then this one says a NEL fund, disburses July upkeep stipends to 20,371 students. And that's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. And finally, federal government travel advisory to Nigerians flying to UK. Federal government issues travel advisory to Nigerians flying to the United Kingdom. Details read on page 14. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune. Do well to pick a copy of any of these dailies that actually interest you. If there's any story you really want to know the details, you can do that yourself. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about the big story, which is really big, that I almost got into before we even got started. That's to tell you of how big it is. My name is Ramsey. We will return after the break.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. It is still Outnumbered live on your screen on this beautiful day with the Outnumbered crew, even though Lovett is somehow being outnumbered today. Let's get to the big story. When I say story is big and Outnumbered, you know what I'm talking about. What are we talking about today? The military, of course, warn of treason as protesters fly Russian flag in some parts of the country. If you've been following the protests, you can see that in some parts of the country like Zamfara State, the Russian flag was being carried by protesters. And if you watch it carefully, what that means is that we need your help. In one of the papers today, it was even said that some protesters were saying Putin should come and rescue Nigeria. And I was wondering, how possible can that be? The situation is not a war situation. How do you want Putin, all right, to just come and intervene in what is happening in Nigeria? So for the military to be coming out to say, well, this amounts to treason. And even the president himself talked about it this morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is not a good one. All right? It's not a good one because, God forbid, we are not praying that there be war. But no country is ever remain the same, will ever remain the same, okay, after a war. We don't pray for war in Nigeria, and there can never be war. Nigeria is a united nation, all right? We are a country that is so united, even though we still have a pocket of some criminals, some corrupt leaders, all right, in quote, who are working against the progress of this nation. So as it is right now, carrying out this flag, to me, I don't think it's a good one. I don't know how you guys feel.
I feel the same because Russia, carrying out Russian flag, because in some of the northern states you mentioned, Kaduna, Kano, are the places that were chanting. They chanted it Hausa and bad government, which is also part of the main,
I think that's the theme of the protest.
The other place they chanted, we want Russia in Hausa. That is not a good thing for we to be hearing in Nigeria. Remember, Russia has been blamed for some unconstitutional change in government in Burkina Faso, Mali, and also Niger, amongst all the African countries. They were blamed for it. And you know the how it lingered, Russia-Ukraine war. I particularly know of a friend who had to leave Ukraine. She prayed hard and left Ukraine because that war, Russia kept bombarding Ukraine, and they are not on a good map as people that are supposed to be using as role models to come and save us. Russia is not in that world positive map because of this blame. You can imagine they had an influence in the unconstitutional change in government in Mali, Burkina Faso. Does that mean Nigerians are already agitating or clamoring for changing government? Are they saying the military should come and take over? Russia practices military government. Do you want them to come and instill military here? And then we also know how ex-military president came and said, hey, I don't have hand in that.
Whatever you saw on the social media, I am not part of it.
We are not talking about coup d'etat right now in Nigeria. So the president has said for those unscrupulous elements who are already producing flags and are clamoring for Russia to come salvage you, what do you want Russia to come and do in Nigeria? The problem we have is in-house, and we can curtail or salvage it in-house. Remember, change begins with us, the government. Right now, but then the
government and the people, if it is us, because we are part of the government.
Absolutely.
Too, even though we have some persons at the helm of affairs.
Absolutely. So having that treason characteristics right now is not what we need. Russian flags. Why? At the first place, who actually the defense military has said we are already plotting a clampdown on the sponsors of this massive production of Russian flags, and also the kids they have paid because these people were, of course, now kids cannot take flags, anti-Nigerian flag over the street if they are not motivated, which is financial. Like we say, a hungry man is an angry man. There were some financial inducements that will make them carry Russian flag. If not, we think will make an average man to carry Russian flag and start.
Russian flag. I don't know. But then, a lot of children came out for this protest, and most of these things
underage.
For us here, it's underage because some presidents even said during the election, you see some of those children voting, as it is being alleged. We saw this. We saw the videos.
Yes. Even there is one I saw. I watched a clip yesterday. I think that should be Kaduna State. A little boy, he was carrying stone, and someone was asking him, "What are you doing with this stone?" He said, "If I see their governor, Kaduna State governor, I will throw him the stone because we voted for him." And small boy was like, "I don't even eat 3 square meals in a day. Sometimes we don't even eat food, that they are very hungry. So what could this be?" You understand? Nobody will see the video and will not pity.
It's deplorable.
No, it's deplorable. That's a little. Don't you think that can even make them, all right, to accept carrying those flags?
Absolutely.
Because maybe somebody can just come and tell them, Gashi, take, and just carry it. Some of them may not even know what they are carrying. They can even tell them. They may even tell them what to say. But was it even right in the first place carrying that flag?
In as much as they are carrying the flag, and I don't blame them in some aspects, because if I thought that the federal government would have done what they're supposed to do initial time, this wouldn't have gotten to this extent. But they allowed it to escalate to this extent. So I don't know the sponsors of the flag, but federal government still have the right to stop that now. But they are still keeping quiet and still waiting for what they will do. They can do undo. In fact, what they're doing now is not even protest anymore. They are taking it to some extent for
the
them
looting.
To be, yes.
I think the looting even started from there.
Yeah, it started from there because I saw videos of somebody who allowed you to say, Nagode Allah, I don't achieve this in fridge. The other one was carrying generator. There were three. The other one carrying generator.
One was even destroying traffic lights.
Yeah, of course. I saw the video. So
I saw one lifting these seaway covers. That thing that covers
the seaway that covers sockaway.
These people
pick it because it's only expensive.
Oh, that is all this condemn. I am condemned.
These people are so hungry, and they say that a hungry man is an angry man.
But must they take advantage of everything?
Yeah, they're not. Of course.
But why is it that averagely the Northerners are always the ones we're talking about? Also, when election comes in Nigeria, they are also the ones that comes out.
Majority, they will tell you majority of the vote comes from Kano.
Underage, ineligible voters.
That's what we hear, allegedly. Anyway,
yes.
Even though Lagos, the protest in Lagos was something else, but then it didn't escalate to the extent of looting. Because I saw people agitating for the end to bad governance at Ojota and at some places, and they even refused. Even up to yesterday, I think a pocket of the protesters actually still came out.
Those people who the police tried to conscript or put them in a chain of gunfire, they said no, we want to also walk around and express.
That's what makes it a protest now.
We don't want to be boxed up,
That's what makes it a protest. It's all right. Thank you very much. I love it.
Excuse me, but I believe that police are actually doing their job in this protest, because if I thought that police are guiding these people very well, they wouldn't have seen any reason of doing a lot of looting. So I think police left what they supposed to be doing, and they are trying tear gas on them.
That's one of those things.
That's why we had so many dead, because there were stray bullets.
I don't know why police are shooting them. They are meant to protect these people, and they're shooting them. And it's also unfortunate that the president did not address this issue in his speech on Sunday.
Well, I think most of the things that we heard from the president was
highlighting
achievements and all of that. But a lot of people have actually, just like you're saying, a lot of people have actually come out to kick against the speech. Not only you. A lot of people actually said it, even prominent people that we know in Nigeria. Well, thank you, Love. Thank you, Michael. This is going to be the size of the big story on Outnumbered this morning. We will come on your way again, same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.